Everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jason Rapoli, and along with Kristen Rapoli, we are Rapoli Real Estate. In this channel, we cover real estate numbers, new construction, everything to do Charlotte real estate related. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and reach out via email, text, call, whatever you're most comfortable with. You can contact us, and we would love to start your journey to Charlotte. In today's video, we are going to be looking at Fort Mill, South Carolina to see what it has to offer with real estate stats, housing, and some things that you can do there if you decide to move to Fort Mill. This is actually our first one in the series in South Carolina, so if you have any questions about that, we are able to sell there as well, not just in Charlotte, but we are able to do South Carolina as well. So if you have any questions, reach out. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, and before we get started, you can see on the left side here, it has some contact information and other platforms that you can follow us on. So if you would like to do that and keep up to date with what's going on in Charlotte, we always start off by looking at the housing numbers and the trends for the last year or couple years going back. So these are the most up-to-date numbers, and this is for Fort Mill. And you can see the median sale price is $518,000. That is down 2.3% year over year, so that did go down slightly. Number of homes sold actually did go up. You can see this graph here. We were kind of like on a downtrend for a little while, but now it's kind of swinging back up. I anticipate that number to kind of either stagnate, go sideways for a little while, and then it might go down just a little bit because this is the summer buying and selling season. So you're always going to see an uptrend now, and then it's going to go down in the fall once everyone goes back to school and gets into that routine, and then the holidays come, and that's even a slower time for real estate. So you can see that that went up nicely year over year. And then the median days on market during the boom that we had from 2020 until about 2023 or so, now we're getting back up into the normal realm. We did take a dip down here in the spring, and we're kind of curving back up here now, and I anticipate that to rise as well. But all in all, these numbers don't look too bad. All right, so we're going to continue talking about the numbers here, and this is the demand. So you're going to see here, sale to list price is 100.5%. And for a while there during the peak, you can see that we were at 101%, 102%, 104%, and it was pretty high up here. So whatever you put your house at, you were getting multiple offers. People were really wanting to buy your house, sometimes without even visiting your house to buy it. We are normalizing now. We've come down. We were below 100% for a little while, but now we're right around that 100%, 100.5. So the buyers and sellers are kind of meeting, and they understand where the price should be, and you're still going to get the ups and downs, but for the most part, wherever you list the house, it usually goes right around there. If it stays on the market for too long, a month, 2 months, 3 months, you're going to have to adjust the price, and then you're going to get a lower closed price on that. Homes sold above list price, it's a negative 21.6 points year over year. You can see during the boom, where they were just getting so much above, craziness above. Then it took a real big dive down because it did need to correct, and now we're kind of coming back up to that medium area. And then along with that, homes with price drops. So that means you just started too high, you need to bring it back down. That's down 12.8 points year over year as well. Migration is a fun little stat because I like to show you guys where people are coming from when they're moving to Fort Mill and when they're moving away, where are they going. This list kind of goes along the same with Charlotte. When I do those kind of stats up there too, it's always New York, Washington, Los Angeles, Chicago, San Francisco. Those are always the heavy hitters. And even in the Northwest, Seattle, we actually help some people from Seattle move to Charlotte. There's a lot of different reasons to come here. I know the weather is great. You're only like 3 hours away from the beach. You're only 3 hours away from the mountains. And a lot of businesses are calling Charlotte home. So a lot of people are coming here just for work related too. I seen a stat not too long ago that if it was not the #1 rated place for businesses, it was in the top 5. So a lot of businesses are coming here. And so if more businesses are coming here, it means more job opportunities, more growth. And that's why a lot of our population boom has come within the last couple years. You can see that when people do leave, they're actually leaving to get closer to the beach or the mountains. These first two here, Myrtle Beach, of course, is right on the beach, or only the 5 or 10 minute drive. And then Asheville, North Carolina has a lot of mountains. It's very close to the mountains. So you can see that's kind of like where they're moving to when they want to get away from, they might want to get some more beach feel or mountain feel. In just a little bit, we're going to look at some houses for sale or that have been sold recently. But here's just a couple that have sold July 26. 480,000, 3-bed, 2-bath, 227 square feet. List price was 475, so it kind of went a little bit over. and that was 35 days on market. This one was just under $1 million, and it went for list price. So you can see, depending on what you're looking for here, days on market, this was actually pretty long, 228 days, but it only went for a couple thousand under, about 4,000 under from its asking price. So it's not too bad. If you're looking for some great schools, we do have resources for you. So go ahead and reach out for that information, because we don't go over this too much, but you can go ahead and reach out to us directly, and we can point you in a direction so you can make a good informed decision about what you want to do with your kids, if you want to put them in public school, charter school, or some private school. Of course, I like to talk about the weather too. So anywhere in the Charlotte area, you're going to get warm weather. Right now, in the heat of summer, it is around 100 degrees with a heat index of around 110. And you can kind of expect that in July and August. Those are our hottest months. But going on from there, going into September, your fall is going to be pretty warm. I remember a couple years back on Thanksgiving, I was able to cook outside on the grill, which was something I couldn't do when I lived in Northeast Ohio. But you're going to get nice seasonable weather all year round. The coldest months will be January and February, and that's when you're most likely going to get snow. We actually did not have any snowfall the last calendar year, but that was a rarity, because typically we do get a couple snow days here and there where we get some snow, but it's melted off by the afternoon. So if you're looking for that, you won't get too much of it here. In regards to hurricanes, the first year we came here, we had, I believe, 2 that actually came up from the Gulf of Mexico, and we had 1 that hit off the coast, which is also a rarity. That does not happen too much here. But since we are so far inland, we got lots of rain, some thunderstorms, some severe weather, but not the kind of issues that you would have if you were more along the beach and you'd have to prepare for it that way. But you will get those storms that come up through the Gulf. They'll run up the coast, and you will get some pretty heavy rainfalls every now and then if that does happen. If a hurricane does come toward the coast, though, you will be impacted a little bit more, because you'll be hitting with a full force rather than coming up from the Gulf and weakening over time. But we've only had one of those since we lived here, and I don't believe they're too prevalent in this area, but it is something that you should be thinking about if you move here or if you move closer to the beach. All right, I don't want to take too long on this. I did want to show you some houses that were for sale and just geographically where we are. Normally, we're located right in this Charlotte area. That's where Rapoli Real Estate's located. We do service North and South Carolina, though. But you can see that here's the border for South Carolina, so you'll be right on the border if you chose to live in Fort Mill. And one of the most popular places to choose is along Lake Wylie. This is a very desirable waterfront location. Of course, the prices will be a little bit more expensive there, but they are really nice. A waterfront. We've actually helped someone move there within the last couple of years, and they couldn't love it more. I zoomed in just so you can see a little bit. You can see the border more defined here, and you can see the different houses. There's a house over here. Let's see this one. 2.3 million, right on the water, 5-bed, 4.5 bath, for over 4,000 square feet. That will get you something real nice out there. However, you don't actually need to live over there. It's just one particular spot where you could be looking if you decide to move to the Fort Mill area. But you can see there's a lot of different choices for you that range from, 300,000 up to $1 million. Here's one for 1.75. So it greatly varies. And if there's something you're looking for price range wise or bedroom wise, just reach out to us. We can start a search for you, and you can see if Fort Mill is right for you. And lastly, what would you actually do in Fort Mill if you move there? So I always like to do this when I do these videos to end it, just so you have a basic idea of what's out there. Now, Fort Mill is huge. There's tons of things to do, but these are just some things that I found that might interest you. This is a #1 rated park out there, the Walter Y. Elisha Park. It's a very well-known park, and the residents there absolutely love it. If you're a history buff, the Fort Mill History Museum to learn about your city or the cities that you decide to move to. Narrowway Productions is also really cool. This is actually a dinner theater. If that's your thing, you can have fun there. You can see, I'll take us through some pictures there. You can see it's just good fun. Different kinds of shows every day that they do. So that's something you could definitely check out. Scrolling down the list, they have Upper Room Chapel, which is just like a very old church there. The Fort Mill Community Playhouse. If you're interested in the theater, you could actually even try out for that, which would be kind of cool. Scrolling down, I know this has been growing in popularity more and more every year. Axe throwing at Fort Mill, people love to do that, so that would be something fun you could do. But there's just a litany of things as you go down this list, and there's just so much more. They have a golf club that's right down there too, and I know that this one is highly rated, Springfield Golf Club, so if that's your thing, that's right down there as well. Alright, and that's all I got for Fort Mill, South Carolina. Write a comment if you like this video, or if you actually live in Fort Mill, South Carolina and want to leave some feedback for someone else. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video along with the other videos that we put out. We're trying to help you guys understand the area and to see if it's a good fit for y'all if you want to move here. If you have any questions, our information has been on the screen the whole time. You can call, text, email. We get back to you within 24 hours, if not sooner. We can set up a search for you if you're interested in looking in the Charlotte